From wild and wonderful southern West Virginia, Mr. Griffith Arises presents ATSBS News. Hey, this is Mr. Griffin, and welcome to another edition of ATSBS News. Actually, this came out yesterday, but I'm just getting around to talking about it. DeAndre Johnson, the FSU football player that was kicked off the team after an incident with a woman in a bar, yesterday apologized. And basically, he was pretty much, from what I understand, forced by his mother to apologize, to which the mom even said she wanted to wring his neck for what he did. First off, I get if they were advised by a lawyer or something, but at the same time, to me, the brother had nothing to apologize for. Both of them were wrong, quite honestly. If I had to be straight up honest, both parties were wrong. But yet, she wasn't even arrested. She has not been charged, as far as I know. And yet, he's being made to apologize for him getting assaulted. And the mother? When y'all gonna wait? I mean, I felt this way about Toya Graham at the Baltimore riots a few months earlier. I felt that way about that. Now, me and another YouTuber that I bring up sometimes, named Mr. Superboy223, not a direct disagreement, but we had a difference of opinion. He felt like she was just being a mom doing what she felt was right. I felt she was wrong from the jump, honestly. But we both agreed, it seems, from what I've listened to his videos, we both seem to agree that what she did afterwards, referring to Toya Graham, what she did afterwards, going on all those talk shows and basically letting the View women, especially Raven Simone, of all people, basically emasculate her son on national television and didn't say shit to her. We both agree she crossed the line on that by not saying anything, by even going on those talk shows to begin with. And I feel the same way about DeAndre Johnson's mother. I'm sorry, but first of all, if she was going to say that to him, she should have said it to him in private, number one. Number two, again, I don't feel he has anything to apologize for. If anything, both of them should be apologizing to each other, because both of them was in the wrong, if you want to be honest. Yes, he shouldn't have hit her. But prior to him hitting her, she also hit him. She kneed him in the groin. Allegedly, she called him racial slurs, and she put his hands on him. Clearly, she was hitting him. Even some white people that I work with were looking at that whole footage and was like, okay, I get why he was arrested. He shouldn't have put his hands on her, but even a couple of white women that I work with were like, okay, yeah, he shouldn't have put his hands on her and he should have been arrested, but why wasn't she arrested? Even they were asking, why wasn't she arrested? Brothers, just men in general, really. And this is men across the board, but I'm especially talking to black men. Especially when you have shit to lose. Use your head, man. Don't put yourself in these situations. Get out of them quick. Especially if you have something to lose. Now, so many black men are brought up with this mentality of they don't want to look soft or they don't want to look weak to their boys and shit. Hey, your boys ain't paying your bills. I'm going to sound like a bit of a hustler for a second. Your boys ain't writing your checks. Your boys ain't paying your bills. Okay? You got to think for yourself and look out for yourself. But like I said, both of them should have went down for what happened. Not just him. And that's really my opinion, and that's my viewpoint on this edition of ATSBS News. And before I go, let me say, I made a happy discovery yesterday. As you know, Mr. Griffith and Irvin Griffin Jr., those two channels no longer exist due to an incident, which, after this video, unless absolutely necessary, I will not bring up this individual again. To me, I've spent enough time talking about it. He's not worth mentioning, and I will be taking proper steps to make sure this does not happen again. And I've made the decision, since I found that one of my channels that I thought I deleted is still there. Mr. Griffin will now be home to Random Thoughts, my dating video series, my wrestling videos, and anything like Mr. Griffith Arise will be more about my more serious topics. And basically it will now be the home of ATSBS news. And for those of you that are new that don't know what that means, ATSBS simply means ain't this some bullshit? But I just shortened it into a more politically correct form. Yeah, but that's what ATSBS means. But that's basically how it's going to be now. Hopefully it'll be nice sailing from here. And as I said, I am now taking steps to make sure this never happens again. And that's all I got to say for this edition of ATSBS News. Have a good day, everyone. I'm Irvin Griffin. Ha 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 ha.